Does traditional education deliver or fall short in educating and nurturing children? Introducing Aligned Learning Revolution, the show that confronts conventional norms and presents dynamic alternatives to transform education. Host Kahila Sivas tackles the foundational issues within classroom walls and advocates for holistic learning opportunities. It's time to reveal the strength of the innovative, holistic neurogrowth learning approach that goes beyond conventional teaching or tutoring methods, assuring every learner of a stress-free learning journey to unlock their fullest potential. Now, join Kahila Sivas.
Hello and welcome. Today I have the pleasure to speak with my student, Meghan Drew. She's not just an actress featured in shows like Supernatural and Dill Drake, but also a dedicated nutrition coach who believes in the healing power of food. Her unique approach to wellness helps people feel their best. Currently, Meghan is working towards a new goal of becoming a nurse. She's sharpening her math skill to prepare for the nursing program, and she credits Learning Success Coaching for making math easy for her and helping her achieve the best scores on her test. Her journey shows a deep commitment to learning and helping others, both on screen and in health and in wellness. Meghan, welcome to our show. Hi, Meghan. Welcome to my podcast today. I'm so excited to speak to you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
That's awesome. So, Meghan, you're an actress, upcoming actress. Tell me, why did you want to become an actress?
I've always loved performing. Since I was a little kid, I would always put on like little performances for my family. And originally, I wanted to be a singer, but I'm not that great of a singer. And so like I would kind of set my parents up with a little concert, and I would say, guys, I'm gonna do a concert tonight. And I had a microphone, and I would like set up chairs and make them watch me sing. And so I think that's kind of where it started. I just loved performing and playing as a child. So
And one of the things, I guess, as an actress, you have to overcome is being in front of others, presenting. Was that ever a fearful part of your journey?
Yeah. I had a time in my life where I like couldn't even order food, like at a restaurant. I was so shy for some reason. I wasn't shy when I was really young, and then I went through, the awkward stage when you're a teenager. Yeah, I for some reason was growing up, and I was like aware of myself, and I was really shy. And then I decided to start acting classes. I think I was like 13. And that really helped me because you have to go up and be vulnerable in front of so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So if a younger student or somebody's 13 years old is listening to this, what would you tell them? You said awkward stage. We all go through them, right? Yeah. What would
we
you
all
tell
go
them?
through it. I would just probably say like if they wanted to act, or just in general, if they wanted
Just
to
in
act.
general, like
Oh,
how
in
do you get
general.
over that phase in your life where you're feeling like it's sort of like a
Weird and
question your
awkward.
existence? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of something you have to go through, and it's something that you're going to look back on and be like, oh, I remember that time. It's a period of growth, and figuring yourself out and coming into this new awareness of being a teenager apart from being a kid. Because like 10 to like 13, there's a really big switch, and your brain is developing, and it's different, but you'll get through it. You'll get through it, and you'll look back and be like, that was a weird time in my life, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And I got through that. That's what I would say. And if you're shy, try acting classes.
That's what I was going to ask. Even if I don't want to become an actress, it's not what I'm dreaming of.
Yeah.
But acting classes have helped you to overcome the shyness, right?
Yeah, a lot. And I feel like this new generation is growing up with so much distraction, like the TV, the tablets, the TikTok. And like, I didn't really have that because I'm a 90s baby. And I was still shy. So going to acting class, I think for any kid would just be fun to meet people and to not be on your phone and to connect again, because I feel like we're missing that a lot these days. So yeah, even if you don't want to be an actor, it's so fun to play. It's like being a little kid again. And everybody has a little inner child that wants to come out,
So do you do any techniques to prepare yourself before a scene? Is there some kind of,
that's a good question. Yes, I do research usually depending on the scene. if it's an emotional scene, there's like different preparation because you really got to get into your body and breathe into it and use your physicality. You can sometimes use like scenarios or your imagination, but sometimes when you do the audition or do the scene, it doesn't come up, so you kind of have to have like instant forgiveness. But pictures, music is really helpful. And yeah, memorizing lines is probably it's important, but every acting teacher I've been with says that like the lines aren't as important as like you embodying the character and being in the world, which is really a cool thing to me because you have
Because you
to
can
imagine
escape.
it. And
You have to
yeah,
escape into it.
yeah, and if you don't experience things that much in your life, it's a different way to like kind of have empathy and experience something else that you wouldn't normally experience in day-to-day life.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been featured on some films. Tell me about the experience of working on the Supernatural.
Oh, that was so fun. I was so nervous for Supernatural because it's such a big show. And but it was really fun. My co-stars were really amazing. And I played this girl. She was a little bit of a mean person. She was supposed to be the mean girl on the show, and she gets stabbed. And yeah, that was really fun because I love shows like that. It's the supernatural. I love horror shows. So I was really excited about that one, and it was such a good experience.
Is it a sequel? Like, is it a series of them?
It's a series, and it has been on. I think it's not on anymore, but it was on for I think like 12 or 13 seasons.
That's
I can't remember how many seasons exactly, but it was on for a long time.
that's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So apart from acting and being an actress, you're also a nutritionist and a nutrition coach.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? Like it seems like they're not
They're not
together.
aligned. Yeah. My family has like been in that world for a really long time. So I just feel like by default, I kind of followed it in their steps. And, like all we have is our health pretty much. And um, like for me, I have a lot of sensitivities to different types of food, different ingredients. And I find when I eat those things, like I do feel a little bit low energy and weird or more emotional, or something. And a lot of people are going through the world feeling that way, not knowing that they have these little sensitivities. And the interesting thing um, is that like if you just take out these things that you're eating, you can feel better. But a lot of people don't know that like these ingredients and processed foods that we're eating, um, they can like really affect you. And that's just fascinating to me. Like it's just really fascinating. And the human body is really fascinating to me too. So that's kind of why I really like it. I'm just fascinated with how that all works in the body.
Yeah, we need to understand what we're putting into our system, right? This is a functioning system.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
just like you wouldn't put the different gas to diesel into your car.
right?
That's if it's a different processing, part. So you're not going to combine them and say, what
Yeah.
do I put some diesel and gas today and see how it works?
Right, right. And like and there's different things in food. Like people are eating so healthy. Some people can be eating so healthy and they're like, why am I does my stomach still hurt all the time? Like why am I feeling really low energy? And it could be like they have a problem with one of these. It's called okay, I don't know if I should explain because I might have to go into more detail, but it's called like an anti-nutrient. And
Okay.
some of those things are on like beans, which is why you need to like soak beans before because some people are more sensitive. And so some people are like, why am I feeling this way when I'm eating so healthy? And it's because the little tiny like molecules get into your body and like you have a small reaction or like the lining of your gut. So it's really interesting to me, the small things. And we're like, I'm eating healthy, but I can still feel this way. And you can eat unhealthy and be like, I feel fine, even though there's other things going on in your body. So that I just love that stuff and I love learning. So
So you do one-on-one coaching with people?
I don't do one-on-one coaching right now. I have my diploma, but I'm not doing coaching because I'm working for a nutrition school. So I've been doing that for like so many years. So I'm not practicing yet, but I would want to, but I also want to do nursing. So I feel like I'm up in the air with everything that I want to do.
So how did nursing come inside of coaching and being an actress?
Yeah,
Now you're thinking about
I know.
nursing.
I know. I think like nutrition is definitely like a part, I feel like is a part of like making people feel better. And so is nursing. It's a part of like taking care of people and helping people. And I think that just goes into like what I like doing. And it's kind of a more intimate thing that you can do with people and have like, yeah. And I think I just would love to do that and experience that, even though it's going to be so hard and take many years. Um, I feel like I have a good job, so I feel like I have the time to do that.
Yeah. When you
And
say
it's a
many
good
years,
challenge.
when you say many years, how many years to become a
So
nurse?
the nursing program, there is, I think, about 4 years
4
to
years?
become or an RN. But then I also was looking into being like a nurse practitioner and then a traveling nurse where you can travel around. So I think that's another 2 or 3 years. It's a long time.
Okay.
And I'm 28 now, so that'll take a while, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you're committed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it how you went from being, looking at your body from the nutrition side to now from the, taking care of it from
Yeah.
the other side. So this program is very important to you and dear to you, and there's something that is stopping you currently or was stopping you currently to get into this program. There's
Yeah.
there's some prerequisites.
Yes.
And that is our 4-letter word, which is math.
Math. The thing everybody loves.
Now you're laughing. Before it was a scary word for you, right? Many students hate that word,
Yeah.
right? Math, oh, math,
They're
right?
like, what? Everyone says, what do they say? They say the quadratic formula. Everyone's like on Instagram and stuff, they make jokes and they're like, I remember just this from math. And I'm always like, how do people remember this still from high school? But like
Yeah,
they don't know how to apply it still. But I think it's really funny.
yeah. It was so. You know how we usually remember the most beautiful moments and most frightening moment, and then when
Yes.
they saw that formula, they're like,
They're like, they're
well,
like, I remember that, but I don't remember it.
no, I don't know how to use it. So now you
Yeah.
don't feel that way. But let's start when you were young. Did you like math when you started school?
I actually did like math in high school when it was like algebra and stuff. I did enjoy it, but my I feel like I would rather hang out with my friends than do homework though in high school.
Mhm.
So I didn't really apply myself. And I just got by I was just like skating along and hoping for the best. And I think I got like a C minus in like my math when I was in grade 10 and 11 or yeah, 10 and 11. And then I didn't take math 12 because I was allowed to have like a spare block. So I was like, obviously I'm going to take the spare block instead of math. And yeah, I definitely struggled when I was in math 11. That's when I really struggled. And that's when I got the C minus. So I
Mhm.
barely passed.
Yeah. So after you decided to take this program, the nursing program, you saw there's the prerequisites of math
Mhm.
that you must do. So then you started taking it, but you said you liked it, and then because you hung out with friends and like math, high school kind of becomes a little less, I don't want to do work, I want to do this, right? So during that time,
Yeah.
do you feel like you kind of drifted away from math? And then when it came back,
Yeah.
you forgot a lot of stuff you learned.
Yeah, I forgot almost everything that I learned when I went to do math for this nursing program. I I was like, "Oh, I kind of remember algebra, but there's so many rules." And especially when you're doing like math 11, there's the quadratic formula, there's like linear equations, and all of those things are like you need to know the basics to do everything else. And it's like you have to keep going back to those and then it builds and builds and builds. So if you don't have the foundation, everything's just going to fall apart because you're going to be like, wait, I don't remember how to do that. And I didn't, I mean, I knew it was going to be hard like that, but I didn't know it was going to be that hard.
Yeah. And when you and I first met, you were like, okay, I could just take a couple of classes and then just refresh it and everything will
Yeah.
just I'll just go do the test and that did that work?
That, no, that did not work. I was like, oh, I'll just, have a few sessions and I'll be fine. And I was like, like, no, I have to continue this. I have to continue this and really like get it ingrained in my brain. And even then, like, I feel like if anyone's doing math, I think it is very beneficial to just like keep doing tutoring as well while you're doing the classes. Cause if someone's like me, like I'm a really big procrastinator on things that are really important. So like when it comes to doing homework and stuff, I feel like tutoring is an extra push to like do the homework, you know, because then you come back for the tutoring session and it's like it's more helpful because you have someone to keep you accountable when you go to tutoring every week. And that's
Yeah.
what I really like because class can be like the teacher doesn't give you that one-on-one time that you would get when you're getting tutored.
Yeah. So when you came to me first time around, I was actually tutoring you. This time around, I'm actually coaching you. There's a
Oh,
difference. There's a
wait,
difference.
really?
Yes, I started coaching you because you're not a person who doesn't know the math concept because you never had a fear for math, right? You were okay in math.
Hmm.
I noticed that because you had that gap, not doing math, you
Yeah.
developed anxiety over math.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah, so you
I
had a
was so
huge
anxious.
anxious about math, and also it is also a big part of you entering this nursing program. So you have a
Yeah.
pressure on
Hmm.
top of it, right? So the second time around when we're working together, I'm actually coaching you. In that coaching, what happened and how is math for you now?
Hmm. Yeah, in the sessions, I it just like helps me feel better because I remember always saying to you like, "Oh, I'm scared," or like, it's so hard, I can't do this," and you were like, "No, don't say that. Like, try to retrain your brain and say like, no, I can do this. Like, it's easy. I got it. I remember it." And you also were recommended me to meditate before my exam and breathe and like try to be calm. And I did all of that, and I felt like it really, really helped. And now when I'm like, this is hard, I'm like, no, 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 wait, like, I know this. I just did this in homework. I just did this with you. Like, I can do this. And it really helps it helps with the anxiety a lot. And
Because
I've gotten
before
better.
that, before the training that I've been starting to giving you through the coaching, when you
Yeah.
went to the test, you were talking to your brain because my methodology
Yeah.
is all about talking and taking control of our brain.
Yeah.
So when you were talking, you were telling your brain, I can't do this. This is too
Hmm.
hard. I don't know. I never learned this. I never seen this. This is so hard.
Yeah.
This is so hard. That was your whole coaching
My
that
whole
you
thing. Yeah.
were.
And it's like my whole body tenses up and I'm like, wait, I don't, it was like the words like went or the numbers
Numbers.
were like everywhere. And I was like, wait, I don't know what this means. It's like solve. And I'm like, wait, what does solve mean again?
Yeah.
now, now I'm like, okay, I know this.
Yeah. But that is because you change how you talk to your brain.
Yeah. How you talk to your brain really, really affects how you're gonna do your math and how you're gonna do your test.
And also how
Um,
your body feels, right? Because
yeah,
you're at a state
yeah.
relaxed and you read a
Mm,
word, it doesn't move. The numbers don't move anymore. Like you
yeah.
said, they're all like doing this
They're
on
all
you.
doing this. Yeah. So it really helps to be relaxed and just like then you're not so hard on yourself too. Because I know you can be hard on yourself, but then like at the end, you're like, I did my best and that's all I can do. And yeah,
And you can say that with conviction
yeah,
because you actually applied yourself instead of saying, I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know.
yeah.
It's
'Cause
like
then it's like,
something.
and yeah, it's like embarrassing if I do that after and I'm like, oh, I feel so bad right now because I just like tricked my brain into being like, I don't know this. And then I go home and I'm like, wait, I need that question. Like, why didn't I
Do it.
just like sit there and breathe? Yeah.
Yeah. And that was happening to you a lot. Like you would leave
Yeah.
out questions that you knew exactly how to do
Yeah. Yeah.
just by freaking yourself out
Yeah.
on the test.
Pretty much.
It becomes a horror movie.
Yeah,
The test is the horror
seriously.
movie.
Yeah, I'm so scared. I'm like running out of that test. Like, ah!
That's awesome. I like that analogy. Horror movie. Here
Yeah.
comes the horror.
Yeah.
How am I
It's like
gonna
gets
attack?
worse and worse.
It
Yes,
gets
yeah,
worse.
yeah.
Yeah, and you have to sit through it. It's like at
Yeah.
least in horror movies, if you
You
don't
can
like
run.
it, walk out or something. Here you're forced to sit for the
Yeah.
next 90 minutes. You better
Yeah.
sit with it and endure it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So now that you've been able to really train your brain, and also you don't procrastinate. The minute you
Mhm.
found a little bit of success, the
I
procrastination
know.
vanishes, right?
I know, because now I'm like, wait, I now I have like a new baseline, where I'm like, wait, I can do this. So like, let's do this. And it helps with like self-esteem too, just in everything, because you're like, I'm actually doing this and I know I can procrastinate, but I'm doing this now and I know I can do this. And then it shows when you take the test and the quizzes and it's a really nice feeling because it's not a good
Yeah.
feeling when you have anxiety and you do take the test and you get a bad mark consistently, you just start being like, why am I even doing this? You know?
And it's so sad that here's this math.
Mm-hmm.
You're a wonderful person with this, this beautiful outlook to be a nurse who cares and who loves and who's already into nutrition, and you want to add the other side, but this math stops you to reach your goal that's over
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
So you feel even defeated when one subject like that could not let you go to where you want to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then people might ask, in which part of nursing am I going to apply quadratic equation again?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
Truly.
don't see myself going c squared equals a squared
Yeah.
plus b squared to my
I
patients.
know. It's like I actually dream about the quadratic equation. Like when I'm going to bed, I'm like my brain's like do. But I'm like, oh wait, maybe when I have kids, like I can help them with the quadratic equation then.
Yeah, and
Like maybe
Pythagorean
it's the
theorem.
background. Yeah,
Yeah. So
exactly. No,
now do you
yeah,
feel it? Now do you feel it that you can actually help someone else too?
yeah, I do. Like my little sister and brother, she just turned 16, my little sister, and she's in math 10 right now, and she's going into math 11. So now I'm like, oh, like I can like help her a little bit. Like I told her she should probably get tutoring or coaching because it'll be helpful. But yeah, I was like, you can ask me a question because I just did that.
Yeah, no, you should
Yeah.
coach her. You
Yeah.
should train her because she'll be so, proud to learn from her big sister too, right? And
Yeah.
you'll be proud to teaching her. But that's another thing, right? Teaching others makes us even more good at what we know.
Hmm.
Teaching her will make you better too. So now, before the test was close to failing, now you're getting like, what, B plus?
Yeah. Yeah. On my and that was when so that was when I was really sick with the flu, and I missed one of the classes, and the test was I missed the Wednesday class and the test was on a Monday, and I had coaching with you on the Monday before the test, and I had like read through the book and tried my best even though I was so exhausted, so tired. So I was already my brain was so tired that I was already relaxed. So when I went for the test, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do my best. I've done the coaching with you. I'm relaxed. I feel like I'm good, and I'm going to absolutely just do my best. That's all I can do. And then I did the test and I was like, okay, like wait, I know this. I can do this. And my brain wasn't on fully like it usually is. So I think like you said, talking to your brain, not having anxiety, being relaxed, and that's the test that I got the B on. And I was shocked. I was like, really? Because I said to myself, what if I got a good mark on this test because I'm like kind of not fully there. And I did. And I was like, it's because my brain wasn't on fully and I wasn't talking to my brain poorly. I was saying, I'm going to do the best I can do. And it was a really good feeling.
Yeah. And brains do, like, we have to talk nicely to our brain, right? We tend to be so
Hmm.
hard on it. And it doesn't do anything to turn on all the wrong chemicals, neurochemicals, to make us get
Hmm.
all the wrong feelings. And
Yeah.
we get them all going. And then we wonder, why don't I understand any of this? I never seen this.
Hmm.
When you get the test back, you look at it, go, I know that question.
Yep.
I could have done that question.
Yeah.
What was I thinking when I was on the test? But that's because we guessed all this chemicals are clouding your mind,
Hmm.
and we create it. And isn't
Yeah.
it powerful to know that I have control over that?
Yes. It's extremely powerful
Yeah.
and
And
so helpful.
yeah, like as an actress, you've mastered public, publicly, acting. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and like remember when I said like I was so shy when I was younger, and like I remember going to like my first few auditions in the room, and I would have the same feeling that I did when I was taking the math test. It's like things that I'm nervous about or scared about or things that I think are important. I would get such bad anxiety that I would shake, like my body would shake. And I had to train my brain to be like, it's okay, like I'm safe, it's fine, I can do this. Um, like if I mess up, it's okay, like instant forgiveness. So I think like coming back and doing math, it's almost like in the beginning, I forgot about that I was doing that for acting. And like you helped me remember, like, right, the brain, talk to your brain better. So,
yes. And then do you see when you came to me first, you said, I just need a couple of classes, just help me with this, right? Like for me as a tutor, I was a tutor for so many years. And people would come to me like that at the last minute or just
Yeah.
before a couple of months before that
Yeah.
test or exam or whatever. And then I would help them. And I only have enough time to push content, right? I'm giving you
Yeah.
strategies about
Yeah.
this is how you do it. Do this question again. Try it again. Try it again.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's all content.
Mm.
And I have to do it because you're coming at the end, or even if it's 2, 3 months before. As a
Yeah.
tutor, we also always focus on the content because that's what you came to me to help me
Hmm.
with math. So I help you with math.
Yeah.
But that alone doesn't work.
No.
You can know all of the rules and you can go to a test and totally bomb that test.
Yeah.
Just walk away with bombing it. And I
Yeah.
saw it again and again, and that's how I shifted to
Hmm.
becoming a learning success coach. That's
Mm.
what my shift was, because I didn't want my students to go and bomb the test.
Yeah.
And I felt at that time when I was doing it, this is like 20 years ago, I would say, why did my student bomb? I gave them all the techniques. They know all the concept. What happened? What happened? What happened? Right?
Yeah.
But it was because they were not talking to their brain properly. And the brain goes
Yeah.
off in different direction than where they need to go, and everything they knew, they don't remember.
Yeah. Goes out the window.
Yes.
But
So now, do you feel like you can apply into the nursing program?
I do. Yeah. I feel so much more confident about it. And I have my final exam coming up. And yeah, I feel really good. I'm going to do like the review from the beginning to now and look over like all of my past tests and go into it talking to my brain really nicely and training my brain and saying, I got this. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. And even if you get a little bit, I know you had the flu last time, this time, if you get a little bit more rest, and a lot
Yeah.
of people think you study last minute and cram it. And that's also not good, cramming it, right? So
No. Yeah.
procrastination and cramming kind of goes together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to separate them.
I was definitely a crammer before. But that's why right now I'm like, okay, let's start from the first one. And like, we don't, because sometimes I go from 0 to 100. So I would be like, okay, let's do as much as we can today and let's do as much tomorrow. And then I get like tired, like my brain is tired. And then I'm like, whoa, I'm really tired. I need to go to sleep. And then for a few days, I won't do anything. And then I put it off. So now I'm trying to be like, okay, small sections every day. And that's what's going to like set me up for success. Being like, let's just do this amount of pages. We don't have to like overwhelm ourselves right now. We can just do this and start sooner, even though it's hard. Like as a procrastinator, it's so hard to start sooner, but you really just gotta say, let's sit down and let's do this. Let's sit
Yeah,
down for like an
structure
hour
it.
brain. Yeah.
Yeah, structure it into your schedule as 10, 20 minutes of little chunk
Yeah.
versus 3 hours. 3 hours
Yeah.
does not help, right?
No.
It's those 10, 20, 30 minutes. Now, with math, you have a different relationship. Like before, you were procrastinating because you didn't like it. Because when you got to it, you always got um sort of like you got the math didn't really invite you. It was like kind of
No.
pushing you away. Oh, here I sit
Yeah.
with math again, right?
Yeah.
Now it's not like that.
No. No. It's actually like kind of fun.
I know. I want you to tell me about it because it's
Yeah.
now turned into, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's like it's a different part of the brain, but it's like similar to being creative. And it's really nice when you can solve things and do things and you're like, oh wait, like you can use the quadratic formula or you can do factoring or you could do so many things to like solve this and then you can graph it. And I just find that really cool because then the word problems that are still like pretty hard for me to do, like I'm working on getting better at them and I'm starting to see them as like something that's fun to solve because it's like you can use it in everyday life. And it's starting to be really cool to me because I'm like, oh wait, like you draw the word problems, which is like a creative thing, and then you do the triangle because right now we're doing trigonometry,
Yeah.
and I was like, wait, this is pretty cool. This is like a really cool thing. So I think also telling myself that instead of like, oh, like I have to do this, it's a chore. It's gotten more fun to do
It clicked
because
for
I'm
you.
doing the work. Yeah.
it clicked
Yeah.
because before it was forced.
Yes.
You were
I was
forcing it.
forced to
Oh,
do it. I was like, I
here
don't
I
want to
have to
do
do
this.
this.
Yeah.
I
Seems like a
have to
job
do
too.
it.
Yeah,
I
I have
have
to
to
do it.
do it for my degree that I want to go into, or my program that I want to go into. I have to do it. You're no longer feeling like that. You're like, I can do this. So let's go do it. And you're connecting it already. Your face is sparking, getting so excited about, if you want to sort of package something, you were talking about the diagonal length of a triangle, right? The
Yeah.
Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah.
If you want to package something and you want to put a ribbon across, now
Hmm.
you can really calculate how long you need for that ribbon.
Yeah. It's gonna be perfect.
It'll be perfect. Yeah, it won't be
Yeah.
extra hanging off of the end
No.
there.
I'll be
So
like,
there's
thank you, math.
application. Yeah, there's an application. So when you
Yeah.
start picturing it and seeing it, not just on paper, but really seeing it, it's everywhere. Like 90-degree is all over our house, right? Every wall,
Yeah.
every ceiling is a 90-degree right there.
Yeah.
It's all over. Like, so we just have to accept math,
Yeah.
invite math versus, but it's not how it's taught either, right? It's kind of
Mm-mm.
taught as a dry subject. You have to learn this, these
Yeah.
formulas, learn the formulas, memorize it. There's no way you can memorize math.
Yeah.
That's another
That
thing.
too. That too, because I feel like I definitely learn in a little bit of a different way. It takes me like a tiny bit longer because you know how some people can just be like, oh, it's that, that's the answer. For me, I have to be like, wait, I need to make sure I understand this like fully, step by step and process it. And then I'm like, okay, I understand it now. And usually teachers don't really work that way, but that's why when I go to you after I've had my class and I'm like confused and I'm overwhelmed and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a lot. You would help me like view it in a different way that I was like, oh yeah, how you taught it to me is like makes me see it differently. Or using a song or using like certain things and saying like this is why this is like this and this is why this is like that instead of the teacher being like this is how you do this, do it.
Yeah. It's a different language, right? They use
Yeah, it's a
different
different language
language.
for sure.
And also they're lecturing. They're
Yeah.
not coaching you.
No.
They're doing a lecture. So the lecture
Yeah.
is just to throw the information at you.
Yep.
Different formats. So that's why.
Yeah.
And also when you're learning with everyone else, it's to the middle, right? As
Yeah.
you said, I learn differently.
Yeah.
Each one of us learn differently. And this is one of the faults of our education system is we try to teach it to all to the middle. And all
Yeah.
these outliers, students like you and I, who don't fit in the middle aisle,
Yeah.
we're on the outside of it. We're like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we start doubting our own ability. We then think, well, they're all getting it. I must be not that smart.
Yeah. And that's where it starts, talking to your brain
Yeah, about
in a
that.
bad way. Yeah.
Because you're seeing it in front of you, it's witnessing, right? Because you
Yeah.
see these middle kids getting it and you're on the outlier student and you're
Yeah.
going, how come they're getting it, how come I can't get it? So
Yeah.
there must be something wrong with
With
me.
me. Yeah. And I also think it's like I would also say to any kids doing math, like I used to be anxious about saying an answer out loud, or you're called on in class. They're like, oh, what's the answer? And if you don't know and somebody else says it, you kind of feel embarrassed. So like that doesn't allow you to feel comfortable in your math class because you feel less than somebody else. And I started to be like, you know what? It's okay if I don't know the answer. It's okay if the other student yells it out because like at least I'm learning and I feel like it's good to not know things because then you learn. And that doesn't mean you're not smart or anything. It just means you learn differently and you really need to process. And that's okay. And to tell yourself that is really awesome. And I wish I
Very,
did that when I was younger.
yeah, we don't though. As we're
Mm-mm.
not trained, we're not helped like that, right? We always want
Yeah.
the right answer. I actually like the wrong answer, right? I
Yeah.
like it when someone makes a mistake. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
tell me how we got there.
Yeah.
And then by telling the other person how you got there, you can always figure out your own mistake. You're like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
I did that wrong. I
Right?
can tell it's not right.
Yeah. And now you know for the next time.
Yeah, when you catch yourself like that.
Yeah.
So what can you offer? Like you have a strong, it looks like you're very centered and grounded and a strong personality. How do you think you develop that?
Oh, I feel like sometimes I can be in my shell, other times I can be outgoing. I I have a little bit of social anxiety in big groups sometimes, and other times I don't. But I think it's
Who
just, I
doesn't?
honestly, really, some people do, and I'm like, damn, I love their personality. They could just like bam, 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 say things, and yeah, I just think I think it's age, honestly. I think it's age because I started being like, I just want to be myself and I have a lot to offer. And I think like it's okay if people like take that the wrong way, or if people think I'm too, because I'm a very emotional person. And I think if people think I'm emotional or so, that it's okay because like my family knows who I am and my closest people know who I am. And so I think like that's really what matters. And everything else, we should just be happy and enjoy life and have fun and laugh. And so I started thinking about that and I was like, I just want to be myself. And that's okay. But I would have never thought about that when I was younger because we really want to be accepted.
Yeah. And you know that a lot of these younger, especially girls and boys as well, young men, they all are caught up in the social media realm. You know,
Hmm.
everyone posts like they're always happy, which is, we all know that's not reality.
Not reality. No. Nope.
No one's happy every time
Yeah.
you see them.
Reality is like up, down, up, down, up, down. And
Yeah.
that's why it's also good to like not be on social media as much. Like go outside, have fun with your friends, like put your phone away for a while because
So how did you manage
comparing.
to find that balance? Because you're pretty much in that era where you already had Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So like I mean, I think I got Facebook when I was like maybe like 12. I think that's when it came
Yeah.
out, 12 or 13. So I had like a childhood where there wasn't really a lot of that, which was nice. So I got like a normal childhood, but I feel like wait, sorry. What was the question?
No, I was just wondering, how did you manage to balance that in your life? Because you still said at this age, you're still saying, I want to hang out with my friends and do the outside and
Oh,
be
yes.
with families versus, some people are glued to their phones and that's their
Yeah.
world, right?
Yeah. And I'll be honest, some days I'm like that and then I'm like, why am I feeling so sad today? Because it's an exchange of energy when you're looking at the phone. So I you just kind of have to like parent yourself and say, like, I just got to put my phone away and go outside or go for a walk even in nature. And I just want to feel good. I think it comes from a place of I want to be happy and I want to feel peace. And like scrolling through Instagram doesn't make me feel that way. It makes me feel like anxiety. So I usually, if I open my Instagram, I'll like see the first couple of posts and then I'll put it away. Or I go to my homepage and it's all dogs. So it's like, it's not that many people. It's all like dog videos or cat videos. Um, but yeah, I think it's really hard to tell like a teenager to not go on their phone because they're teenagers, right? They're like everyone has Snapchat these days and everyone's like on Instagram these days. And I hope that like they can grow out of that and they can be like, wait, we shouldn't be doing this. But it's really hard when you have like a full generation of people with their tablets and phones and stuff.
So you think that because you said it was nice when you said that, you said I had a normal childhood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you think growing up with phones and iPads and all these devices, it's not a
It's
normal
not
childhood?
normal. It's not normal. Like seeing my younger siblings like grow up with that, I was like, this is so weird. They're always like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah, it's sad because I'm like, go outside, like go to the playground, go with your friends. Um, but I think like like my little sister, she's starting to that. Like she goes out with her friends and like goes outside and stuff. So I think that's a really good thing. But obviously there's some people who don't do that. But I think it's definitely like as a parent, you kind of also have to be like, if I take the phone away, my kid's gonna hate me for a bit, but like it might be good.
Yeah.
But
You have
I'm
to
not a
set
parent, so
boundaries.
I wouldn't know. But yeah, the boundary thing, because kids can be like, no, I want my phone, I want to talk to my friends. The
Yeah.
teenager, being a teenager, when you just don't like your parents for a bit, but
But it's still parents have to step in and
and
really
do
put a
that.
boundary to it because kids, as you said, teenagers don't know boundaries. They don't know what
Yeah.
when they even feeling like you said. I feel anxiety when I'm too much on my Instagram or whatever,
Hmm.
right? And that
Yeah.
Snapchat stuff is pretty incredibly can keep you really occupied because there's just
Yeah.
I guess I'm
Hours and
not a
hours go
user.
by.
I'm
Yeah.
not a user of it, but I'm thinking that you just see different photos and pictures and
Yeah.
videos coming up, right?
Yeah.
So it's like keeps you constant, constant,
Yeah.
constant,
In our attention span is so short now. Like look, going through a minute video, if there's like an interesting fact, it's like you get to like 20 seconds and you're like, oh, it's too long. So our attention span is getting shorter and shorter, and like there's like kids with mental health problems, or it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's
Yeah.
really sad.
Yeah, anxiety is the biggest. Depression, anxiety is huge
Yeah.
since COVID, especially
Yeah.
too. So if you said I'm not a mom, but if you were to become a mom, what would you do with your children?
Oh my gosh, I would want to go like camping with them and go outside with them. And like, I'm very grateful that I have like, I'm really close with my family. So I would just like bring them over and have them spend time with family and everything. So yeah, I'm really excited to have kids.
What would the boundary look like for these devices? What age would you introduce the phone to them or the iPad to them?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I know that I would want to watch like some cartoons with my kids, like some cartoons from when I was young, um, with them. But I don't know if I would give them a tablet for a long time. I'd probably give them like something else for their brain. Like, you know, those Rubik's cubes
Mhm.
or like something like that, just, try to keep them occupied. But also I can't say because some kids go to school and then their friends have tablets and they don't, and they feel left out or they feel weird, and it's really hard. I would assume it'd be hard as a parent to see your kid feeling left out or like different because kids can be really mean to each other. So I
It's
don't
true.
know.
It's
Yeah.
true, yeah, because they're growing up in an environment where others have it. But you said something beautiful was that I would watch it with them. Like, for
Yeah.
my son who's 17 now, I used to watch everything pretty much with him until he was 5, 6. I was with him all the
Yeah.
time doing the stuff, and we watched Finding Nemo for the millionth of
Oh,
time. And then
love
he
that
puts this,
movie.
right? He puts it in. I'm like,
Yeah.
again, okay, again.
Oh my gosh, I feel like that's like universal for kids. Mine was Spice World,
Oh,
like
yes, yes.
on repeat. It's just like, can
Yeah.
we watch this again? And you're like, okay.
Yeah, and then
That's so cute.
Finding Nemo and
Yeah.
Cars were our
Oh, I
go-to.
love those two as well. Those were
Yes.
really good movies. I'd still watch them as an adult.
Yeah, yeah, but I probably know the script inside
Yeah.
out because he forced me to watch it. It's like, can we watch something else? And then I remember him saying a couple of months ago, he was doing biology test exam or test preparation, and he said he didn't do well in chemistry, but he did really, really well in biology part of that. He's in grade 11.
Mhm.
I said, how come? Like, what happened to the chemistry part? Or how come you understand this? Maybe you like biology, right? We were having a
Mhm.
conversation. He said, no, because I watched all the Magic School Bus. He remembered from Magic School Bus the
Oh my
systems in
gosh.
his body.
That's so funny. So it helped. So the cartoons
Yeah.
helped.
From that age, he remembers
Yeah.
Magic School. He hasn't watched it in years now since he's
Yeah. Oh my
17, right?
gosh.
So
So
those
it was,
things that we do with our kids,
yeah.
they remember.
Yeah. Because he had like a positive feeling to it. So it was almost like, oh, wait, like this could be fun.
Yeah, I bought him the whole series when he was young, and we that's another thing we watched together was all the time was,
Mm.
and it's really cool how the bus goes through your digestive system. You
Yeah.
must
That's so
remember. You
awesome.
must remember
Yeah.
your
You have to
esophagus.
remember it.
So it's interesting what we do with our kids. You said I don't know what age. I think with my experience and with all the kids I'm working with and everyone and the families, up until 6 years old, really
Hmm.
do, even if you introduce the iPad, no phone, of course, but if even
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
iPad or TV or any kind of other devices, be with them,
Yeah.
experience it with them. And that's how you can set that boundary later on
Yeah.
because you've actually enjoyed it together. It was an
Hmm.
it was an tool to enjoy something we liked it together.
Mm.
And we don't want to establish that I'm giving you this because I don't want you to bother me. You see the
Right?
difference? You see the
Yes.
difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it goes wrong. If I
Yeah.
replace me for the iPad, guess
Yeah.
what? By 6 years old, they don't need a mother or dad because you only thing
No,
they're gonna look up to you
they
for
have the
is food,
iPad.
food and give me some money.
Yeah.
I don't
And that's
really
not
need
what you
you.
want.
I have my phone, sorry, just get lost, right?
Yeah.
That's where it gets scary because now we always, I mean, it's not their fault. Who trained
Hmm.
it? I trained them, right? I trained them
Yeah.
because I substitute my attention for an iPad or phone, and the phone helped
Yeah.
them. They
When they
were
really
that was
want your attention, actually. Yeah.
yeah, 6 years old. Until then, you have to be there, and that
Yeah.
bond. Like my son and I have such a strong bond because until he was 5, I never left his side.
Hmm.
Like he's go to school and
Aw.
preschool and stuff, but
Yeah.
like I was there, I was his caretaker, and we had
Yeah.
such a strong bond. And now, he tells me he's proud of me. That's kind of the
Oh,
relationship we have.
that's so cute.
Yes, yes.
I
So
love that.
if you have kids, I would strongly recommend, you know,
Hmm.
5, 6. It's the
Yeah.
best times to enjoy too. Otherwise, what's the
Yeah.
point of having a kid, right?
Right? And I hear it goes by so fast too.
Oh yeah, he's 17. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's in Chile right now studying Spanish.
Oh my
So
gosh, that's
he's doing
awesome.
rough.
Probably
Yeah,
having the most amazing time.
yeah, he's got a nice, wonderful family there looking after him. But all that is possible because he's grounded. Because those times
Yeah.
we spend like that, I think you have that. You have a family
Mhm.
structure too, right? A
Yes.
strong
Yeah.
value. You guys
Yeah.
celebrate things together. You eat dinner
Yep.
together. And that's
Yep.
another place we put our phone away, right? You guys have that where
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
together, you really separate
Yeah.
that.
We just spend time together and like present. And I really love that.
Anything you want to say to young girls?
Um, I would say believe in yourself, have fun. Like you're beautiful and amazing as you are, and try not to compare yourself to other people. Um, and yeah, try to. I know it sounds so weird because I'm like when I was that age, if someone said that to me, I would be like, okay, but you don't understand. And like I remember saying that to like my mom or older people, and they're like giving me advice, but it's just like to try to remember that
Yeah.
um that like you're enough.
Mm,
I wish somebody said that to me when I was young. So that's what I would say. And to
absolutely.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, as you said, even if you don't want to listen to it at the time, I was a teenager too, right? We all,
Mhm.
at that time, were more rebellious, right? We're like, you don't
Yeah.
understand. Like, well,
No.
my nieces and my stepdaughters and everyone always says, you don't understand me what I'm going through,
Yeah.
right?
You're like, wait, I do. I went through that too.
Yeah, but maybe you're going through it in some more extreme than I did
Yeah.
because obviously our age we didn't have the social media thing
Yeah.
where somebody could be making fun of you just because your
Yeah.
nose is not the way they want it to look like or something
Yeah.
like that. Like everyone's care about how they're like they want to change their
Yeah.
face instead of
Yep.
accepting it. We
Yeah.
all want to change everything about ourselves.
Yeah. Now we do. Yeah. Like the teenagers now, like the TikToks that they do and stuff. I'm like, when I was a teenager, like we had the photo booth and we were like doing really weird, funny TikToks of like, we're just having fun. We weren't trying to be like perfect and proper. And I'm like, the teenagers now look like they're 19. I look like I was like, I had braces, I had all this acne, like when I was that age. And I'm just like, it's so different now. People are growing up so fast now. And I think it's the pressure
And if
of
you
social
think
media.
about, yeah, and if you think about a lot of these people, they use so many filters and Photoshop
Yeah.
their faces. It's not
Yeah.
even real. And
Nobody looks
you,
like that. Like even in my photo on this Zoom, I don't even look like that right now. Like that's like a photo that is like the lighting's perfect. I'm wearing a lot of makeup. Like my pores are a little bit smaller because I'm like airbrushed a bit. So it's like we got to remember
show
what real
show us
life
that
is.
picture. Can you close it? I might see it
Oh,
if you
oh
close it.
yes. If I turn off my camera.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful picture, but you're also
Yeah.
beautiful in the other video that I'm seeing you.
Yeah.
You're
Thank
perfectly
you.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So
We're all perfect. That's all.
yeah,
We're perfect as we are.
but the thing is, the role models we see these days are photoshopped, as we know, right? A lot of the
Yeah.
role models who appear
Yeah.
to be role models, they're so perfect, and also what is perfect has been altered. Like lips,
Yeah.
like those are
Yeah.
not perfect lips. They're
Nope.
made up lips.
Yeah.
So now our little, younger kids are looking at it and they think these puffed out lips that are like doing that. It's like a
Yeah.
duck lip or whatever. I don't know, beaks or
Yeah.
something. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how to call them, whatever they're called. I'm so
Yeah.
behind on that terminology, but I think they're getting false impression because beautiful lips
Yeah.
don't look like that. They're not
No.
real.
No.
So there's
Exactly.
lots going on. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you because you pushed past your fear to
Yeah.
learn math and your goal to become a nurse. You will do it. There's
Yeah.
math won't
Thank
stop
you.
you. Math
No,
won't stop you.
not anymore.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Megan, for
Thank
joining me.
you. It was so amazing talking to you.
Thank you so much. So there you have it. That was an interview with Meghan, one of my students. She came to me as a tutoring student at the beginning, asking me to help her in few classes to pass a math class. She didn't have full understanding, and also she had full anxiety about this subject. So now the subject that she once hated, something that she was afraid of, she is getting B in her class now, and she is so happy how she was able to achieve this, not just by learning the content, but she really learned it by applying and helping her brain learn how to learn math and how to learn to do an exam or test, because a lot of the time our students and our kids are not taught in the classroom how to really do an exam or test. The anxiety kicks in and they forget everything clouds, and we don't remember anything that we could even remember without being in that stressful situation. So I wanted to bring her on this podcast because she is a upcoming actress. She has this nutritional business, as well as she's looking into combining that with becoming a nurse. At the beginning, she never thought she could get into this nursing program because this one subject, that four-letter word, math, was going to stop her from going into that program. Now you heard from her how excited and she's looking forward, because the only she needed was a B, and she's not still done. We have a final exam to do. And when she finishes that, she's going to get into the program she always wanted. Now she believes she can achieve whatever she wants. So this is a very important subject for many of our kids and students, because it's a subject that is involved with many of the programs that you want to take in post-secondary. So it's really important for us to really feel good with this subject, have a good relationship with the subject. You know, you all know my story. I'm a suicide survivor. For me, math became a therapy after that, and it helped me to become the person I am today. It is truly a therapeutical subject if we really learn to appreciate its beauty and really learn from someone who loves the subject. If you learn from someone who fears the subject, who doesn't have the understanding and who doesn't appreciate the beauty of that subject, you will also develop that anxiety as well. So again, I wanted to bring Meghan today because she is a person who grew up with some of the social media. And also we talked about having kids. And as a young mother, if you're listening to it, or a young dad, it's really important to make sure that we set boundaries. Even if you don't have those boundaries because you grew up with social media and all the devices, you still must set up these boundaries and balances for your little kids. And do not ever substitute your present for a device, because if they learn that you don't care, you're going to give them the device, they will become dependent on the device that actually gives them dopamine kicks. So it's really important from the beginning up until they are age 6. I believe it's age 6 is such a purest years of their life. You must be there, present as much as you can, even if you have busy life, even if you have busy work, even if your life is not good, you must be there for them. Read my book, Cracking the Parenting Codes, which is on Amazon, and it'll give you the codes to be the parent of the 21st century students and kids. So thank you for listening. I'll see you on another episode.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Our purpose for this episode was to spark a reevaluation of the current education system. For more episodes offering practical and comprehensive strategies to enhance learning, please visit www.learningsuccessacademy.com. It is crucial to ensure that children have access to the holistic neurogrowth learning approach, enabling them to break free from the constraints of an outdated educational framework. This is your opportunity to gain insight and break away from a flawed system, setting your children on a path to lifelong success that truly nurtures their thirst for knowledge. That's all for now. We look forward to having you join us for the next episode.